Hey, Nick, this is Trevor Gross from CUTigers.com. Another brilliant game for you. Clemson career high 21 points, 5 of 6 from three-point land. This is about as hot as you've been in your career, or have you had other streaks like this before?
I would say this is probably my second game where I've gotten hot like that. I had one game my freshman year at Fordham. That was pretty not I wouldn't say equivalent, but it's definitely up there.
Nick, this is
Good.
Machiavelli with the AP. Is this the way it's going to be for you guys? Rallying back, winning games at the end. I mean, what is it about this team that leads you to have these kind of runs at the end of games?
I think it always just goes back to practice. Coach always preaches to us how things won't always be like unicorns and rainbows throughout the game. There are some good days and bad days, but Coach always says your energy and effort is non-negotiable. So just following with that from practice and him preaching that every day. It was almost after the first half we played, it was almost a given we came back with the spark.
Nick, what's it like to be playing like this for these couple of games in the ACC? I'm imagining it's something you thought about for quite some time, and now you're actually showing what you can do in one of the best leagues in the country.
It's definitely a good feeling. Big thanks to God for making everything happen. But just as a young kid, I always wanted to play at the highest level. The path to Clemson wasn't always just clear and straight out of high school, but like I said, God always makes a way. So I'm glad to be here and just thankful to be in this position.
Nick, can you take me through the three-pointer at the end of regulation to tie it, and then the last play of regulation as well?
Well, the three to tie, to be honest with you, it really wasn't too much thought to it. Just running, I knew two people were on the mirror because he did a good job with pushing the ball. And as soon as he flipped it back to me, I kind of didn't really think about it and let it go. So that's pretty much it.
And then play at the end of regulation, how was that? Like, what was the play there? Was it just go one-on-one?
Yes, sir. That was coach just said we get the ball in bounds and then go with a 1-4 flat. Wasn't my best finish to the game, but I'm just glad that coach has confidence in me to make a play at the end of the game.
Hey, Nick, this is David Hood with TigerNet. Just for background's sake, kind of walk us through, how did you wind up at Fordham? And then at what point in your Fordham career did you think, you know what, I think I can go somewhere else and maybe even flourish more?
Well, out of high school, I was kind of like in that in between on recruiting. I had a lot of mid-major offers, and I had I'd say a few of the high major interests. So I already knew out of high school I just wanted to go somewhere where I could contribute right away and just have that experience under my belt. So I committed and went to Fordham. Unfortunately, I had a family emergency towards the end of my freshman year. So I just prayed about it, sat down with my family, and just realized that it would be a lot easier to be closer to home, Orlando, Florida. So that's kind of how I led to this destination.
It's Trevor again. What does it say about this team? The fact that Amir was scoreless late in the second half, but y'all were still right there in the game. Obviously, he had the big 25-point game on Saturday, but the fact that y'all have multiple guys that can carry the load.
Yeah, coach always says we have strength in numbers. So whenever, like I think I said this in the past interview, everybody has on and off days. So we kind of just coach has confidence in us, and we work hard enough to where whoever needs to step up can. And like the normal basketball watcher wouldn't really notice the certain things that Amir Sims does. He affects the game a lot without just scoring. In Miami, you saw a little bit of everything there, but he was had a little off game today, but I mean, as you can see, the boxing out, getting rebounds, making those hustle plays. I believe he had a steal in the post when the game was tied, so he can get a chance to win. So I mean, that just speaks volumes of our team. We do a lot of things that lead to winning besides scoring that might not show up in a box score all the time.
Any more questions for Nick?
Nick, how big was PJ's bucket there at the end to kind of seal it? And then what was it like seeing him and Amir playing together there? Like,
it was a good feeling. I believe in my first interview, I said you guys will see around midseason. You see the real PJ Hall. That was a little taste. But nah, he's a very hard worker. He's gonna be really good. I don't really tell him this all the time, but he's gonna be a really good player. And he's just, a top freshman. So he's just going through the stages of learning the game and how we do things. But that was big time. I mean, we seen him do that move a million times. So I mean, we had full confidence in him making that shot.
Hey, Nick, it's David again. Just a final question. Coach Brownell talked about having you call a couple of teammates each day, making a couple of calls to try and bring you out of your shell. How has that worked out for you? And has it made you more of a leader? Has it brought you out of that shell a little bit?
Yes, sir. It definitely helped. I'm usually a laid back guy, kind of like to myself, especially when I'm like back home in Orlando. So, but just it really wasn't as important when I was sitting out last year. But as I was coming up and playing, coach just said, like, as a point guard, you definitely have to be vocal. So he challenged me to do the FaceTiming, and I definitely became closer to my teammates just of figuring out what they're doing during quarantine, how they're getting better and stuff like that. So it definitely helped. And just each day I'm trying to get better. I'm becoming a better leader for this team.
Got time for one more question if someone has one.
Nick, y'all are the highest ranked ACC team right now at 9-1. Do y'all kind of get momentum and extra juice and positivity from that, or do you just try to kind of keep that in the back of your mind?
It definitely feels good knowing that we're up there in the rankings, but we're definitely hungry for more. One thing our coaching staff does, they always make sure we're never too complacent, and when we are, they get on us to make sure we can prevent that. So, I mean, it feels good that we're considering that number, but as you can see, we went to Virginia Tech and lost when we were ranked. Those rankings don't mean anything at the end of the day. So we just want to play hard and get wins. We're not really worried about the number beside the name.
All right. Thanks, Nick.